Hello and welcome class 12 commerce students. Today in this class I am going to explain to you some special problems of ratio analysis. Previously we have completed the chapter of ratio analysis and I have explained the different important sums belonging to the different categories of ratio. The solvency ratio, liquidity ratio, activity ratio, profitability ratio and the different sums based on those ratios. But from today onwards, I will provide you special classes on those problems which are a little bit different from the conventional problems of ratio analysis chapter. So please focus on today's class because these questions I am going to set for your exams. From these questions, I am going to set questions for your exams. So these type of questions are very important because in MCQ also, multiple choice question also, you get the short MCQ questions also based on these special problems. These problems very often come in your exam paper, in your final exam paper also, and if you consult the test paper also, these sums mainly come for the exams. So now onwards I will focus on these type of little problems, but very important. The problems are very short and precise, but the solutions will be a little bit twisted. It is not so easy to solve. So please focus on today's class. So first sum I have given, a little bit of information is given to you. Only three basic information is given to you. The total asset is given to you rupees 2 lakh. The fixed asset is given to you 50,000 and the capital employed is given 1,25,000. From these three information given, from these three information provided to you, you have to solve a sum. What you have to find out is you have to calculate the current ratio from this sum. How will you find out current ratio from these three information? You have to utilize these three information and find out the current ratio. Now, to find out current ratio, what we need is current asset and current liability. We need current asset and current liability because we all know that current ratio is nothing but the ratio between current assets and current liability. So we need these two things, current asset and current liability. Now see, in this sum, current asset and current liability is not provided to you. That's why the sum is not so easy. It is a little bit twisted. You have to think and do the sum carefully. See, current ratio means current asset and current liability. Now in this sum, current asset and current liability, both the things are missing. But a little bit hint is given to you. Total assets is given and fixed asset is given to you. Total assets and fixed asset is given to you. Now what will you do is current asset is nothing but the difference between total assets, that is TA, short form I am using, minus fixed asset, that is FA. Total asset minus fixed asset. Current asset is nothing but the difference between total asset and fixed asset. Remember the balance sheet that we used to do in class 11. In balance sheet, remember the asset side of the balance sheet. In the asset side, we used to take fixed asset, current asset. Fixed asset and current asset, the summation of fixed asset and current asset was the total asset. The total, or rather we can say that the total asset amount is obtained by adding the fixed asset and the current asset. So total asset is nothing but it is the sum of fixed asset and current asset. Total asset means TA. Total asset means fixed asset, as we have done in the balance sheet, fixed asset plus current asset. This we all know. Now current asset therefore must be equal to total asset minus fixed asset. So total asset given in the sum is 2 lakh. And fixed asset given in the sum is 50,000. So 2 lakh minus 50,000 is 1,50,000. So this is the current asset. Current asset we have got. Now the question arises is current liability. we need current liability. Now, we all know that in balance sheet, remember the balance sheet, carefully remember it. In the balance sheet, the asset side was totally equal to the liability side. The asset side was equal to the liability side, total of the liability side. Now the asset side total is 2 lakh. This means, this indicates that the liability side total is also rupees 2 lakh. Since total asset is equal to total liabilities in case of a balance sheet, therefore this rupees 2 lakh of the total asset indicates that the total of the liability side will also be rupees 2 lakh. It's quite normal. Now what we will do is, from this total, if we consider this as the total of the liability side, because total asset is equal to liability, total asset is equal to total liability. So rupees 2 lakh is the total of the liability side. From that total of that liability side, if we deduct the capital employed, that is the capital part of the liability side, what we are going to get is the current liability. So current liability is nothing but it is the result of deduction of total liability side or total asset side, both are same, minus the capital employed. So current liability means, current liability CL, I am using short form. CL means total asset or total liability, both are same. In this sum, total assets is given, total asset minus capital employed. If we deduct these two, we are going to get current liabilities, because total liability was equal to capital employed plus current liability. That's why we will get the current liability. Now total asset was rupees 2 lakh and capital employed is given rupees 1,25,000. So thus we get 75,000 as the answer of current liability. Now we are getting current asset as 1,50,000 and current liability as 75,000. So what we will do is, we will divide these two, because the formula of current ratio is current asset divided by current liabilities. Current asset divided by current liabilities. CR, current ratio is equal to CA divided by CL, which is 1,50,000 divided by 75,000, which means 2 by 1, that is 2:1 is the answer. So in this way we will solve the sums given in the exam paper. We will solve the sums that will be given in the question paper. In this way we will find out the current assets and the current liabilities, and eventually we will find out the current ratio. This is how we will solve the sum. In the same way, if small questions are given to you, like if you are given quick assets and stock. Suppose quick assets is given to you 80,000 and stock is given to you 10,000 and prepaid expense is given to you. Prepaid expense is given to you as another 10,000, and current liability is given to you 50,000, and you are again asked to find out the current ratio. So what will you do? Current ratio means current assets divided by current liabilities. But since current asset is missing in this information, the information provided to you is current quick assets, stock, prepaid expense and current liabilities. There is no information of current asset, but current asset is nothing. Current asset nothing but the addition or the summation of quick assets plus stock plus prepaid expense divided by current liability. Current asset is nothing but the summation of quick asset and stock and prepaid expense. This question may come in your question paper in the MCQ, that what is the current asset? Current asset is the addition of quick assets and what? What are the items? 4 options can be given to you. Stock and prepaid expenses will be the answer. If we add stock and prepaid expenses with the quick assets, we will get current asset. Current asset, I repeat, current asset is the summation of quick asset plus stock plus prepaid expense. So quick asset plus stock plus prepaid expense, if you add, that is 80,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 divided by 50,000. That is 1 lakh divided by 50,000, which means 2 by 1. That is 2 is to 1 is coming as the current ratio. Current ratio is coming 2 is to 1. These are the simple short questions which are going to come in the exam paper. These type of problems generally comes as short question, or a bigger one can come as a long 4 marks question. So in this way we will solve these type of questions given to you. In my next classes I will come up with more and more of these problems, so that you can get an idea of how to solve these small sums but twisted sums. And don't forget to download the PDF provided with these videos, so that you can get an idea how to do the homework. And also don't forget to do the homework of ratio analysis from the chapters Basu and Datta book. So follow these classes. In this way you will solve the sums. More to come up. Till then, goodbye.